You ever wake up to the smell of diesel in your own damn house and realize someone's waged war on your life over wildflowers? Yeah. Welcome to my world. Three massive machines dump truck Bobcat, a trailer the size of a small yacht jammed so tight in my garage you'd need an act of Congress to get the door closed. $18,000 in tools held hostage behind a wall of steel in pure spite. And standing there soaking in the chaos like she's about to cut a ribbon is Karen Whitfield, clipboard raised, the queen of Pinewood Estates, smiling that smile, the one that says, "Obey me or else." I swear if evil had an accent, it'd sound just like her. Oops, garage jammed. Maybe next time follow the landscaping rules, she purrs, turning to leave like she's just crowned herself winner of the suburban Hunger Games. That's when I, maybe out of a mix of anger and too much coffee, walk right over, drop the garage door, click lock it from the inside. Her face, oh, you had to see it, goes from smug to panic so fast I almost felt bad. Almost. She's pounding, screaming, demanding. See, Karen thinks she knows the law, knows the rules, even thinks she knows my own damn garage door better than me. But there's this one tiny delicious detail. She missed something about illegal parking that's about to flip the script. But let's back it up, because you gotta know how a wildflower garden almost blew my life apart, and why that moment with Karen the lock her trapped outside was the single sweetest act of revenge I've ever tasted. Name's Calvin Smith. I'm 42, I fix wiring for a living, and I thought Pinewood Estates was going to be my fresh start. I'd just finalized my divorce. Needed a quiet place somewhere close to Riley, my teenage daughter, for weekends. This little 1970s subdivision, leafy streets, everybody keeping to themselves, it felt right. But honestly, I bought the house for the garage. Big enough for my workshop, my van, all my tools, the smell of sawdust and metal that was my therapy. Riley loved it too. Some dads take their kids to the movies. I taught mine how to use a voltage meter and organize sockets by size. Not the traditional American dream, but it worked for us. Now, most folks here minded their business. Retirees, working families, old-timers who still drank coffee at 6 a.m. and waved if you caught their eye. The HOA Homeowners Association ran things. $85 a month for lawn maintenance, some sidewalk repairs, nothing fancy. But there was a shift happening. Old blue-collar families started sharing fences with tech folks moving in from the city, folks who could drop $10,000 on a landscaping upgrade like it was nothing. Most people adapted. But not Karen Whitfield. Nah, Karen went the other direction. Picture this late 50s retired insurance adjuster personality like an audit. Biggest house on Maple Street. Her lawn might as well be AstroTurf, every blade 2 inches bright green, not a dandelion in sight. She drove a white Lexus so clean it looked like it was allergic to rain, parked dead center in her driveway, probably with a tape measure. 6 years as HOA president, treating the title like it comes with diplomatic immunity. She's got a nose for violations, wrong mailbox, color work van in a driveway, a stray leaf. And lucky me, a divorced electrician who plants wildflowers. I might as well have been spray painting graffiti. So here's where the trouble started. I plant native California poppies and lupines. Not weed, not weeds, just honest-to-God wildflowers that save water and give bees a fighting chance. Summer mornings, Riley would pick a bouquet for her room, and I'd just breathe in that peace, the first since the ink dried on the divorce. Next thing I know, some official-looking notice lands on my door. Non-conforming landscaping disrupts neighborhood harmony. Install turf grass or it's $50 a day in fines. $50 for wildflowers. That were saving me $200 a month on water. I stay up half the night reading the HOA charter, scouring for the exact bylaw. Guess what? Not only is there no ban on native plants, the founding docs encourage them. But Karen's vision of harmony means every lawn should look like Augusta National. I call the HOA office. Karen's voice cold as a Minnesota winter. The board determined your landscaping is inappropriate, Mr. Smith. I ask, which bylaw exactly? There's this grinding pause like she's chewing nails. The general aesthetic provision, I press. She hangs up. That's when I get it. This isn't about grass or flowers. It's about Karen deciding who belongs and who doesn't. The next day, the campaign starts. She's across the street, camera out, snapping photos like she's building a case for Judge Judy. My van, my mailbox, my damn lawn. Some days she brings her bestie, Mrs. Henderson, for backup, a 70-something retiree who nods at everything Karen says like a bobblehead in a Buick. The perfume cloud they left behind could stun a horse. Riley started calling it the mean lady's stink cloud. Accurate. But Karen's not just gathering evidence. She's building a case to get my van banned. Commercial vehicles not allowed overnight, she says, pointing at my Ford Transit like it's a monster truck rally. Now, I've done enough electrical work for lawyers to know the basics. HOA rules have to be enforced fairly. You can't bust one guy for wildflowers and ignore the rose garden next door. So I start my own surveillance project, security cameras check, and I start documenting everyone's violations. Mrs. Garcia lavender and Rose's no turf, the Patel's rock garden, Henderson Karen's own backup decorative shrubs instead of grass. Two can play this game. Every photo, every timestamp, every notice, I'm building my case. And then Karen makes her move. She calls county code enforcement, claims I'm running an unlicensed business out of my garage. I come home to find an inspector poking around like he's hunting for contraband. He's polite, but he's thorough, measuring, checking permits, asking questions about every breaker and wire. It's the longest 20 minutes of my life. Finally, he shakes his head. Not disappointed, more like baffled. Mr. Smith, your setup's cleaner than most commercial shops. Sorry for the trouble, but between us, someone's reported you 4 times this week alone. Karen just handed me proof official on paper that this is harassment. But that night, when Riley asks if we're in trouble because the mean lady keeps taking pictures, something snaps. This isn't about landscaping, it's about protecting my family from a bully. Karen's next play, pure escalation. 2 weeks later, I wake to diesel engines idling. Massive dump truck bobcat mower trailer parked across my property, engines running, fumes pouring in. Karen just happens to be outside with a clipboard explaining emergency equipment staging. My nephew's company has the contract for common area landscaping. Her nephew, who coincidentally owns the landscaping and towing companies. The fumes get worse, the noise never stops, and suddenly nobody on the street is happy. I realize she's not just targeting me. The Rodriguez family 2 doors down, asthma triggered. Mr. Thompson, retired mechanic, points out, if there's a fire a truck can't get through, Karen's making everyone suffer until I cave. That's when the neighborhood starts talking. Mrs. Rodriguez, who'd been fined for a mailbox, painted 1 shade off the approved color. Thompson told his handmade fence was too brown. All of us, wrong mailbox, too many plants, or just not her kind of resident. 8 families. Over coffee at Rodriguez's cafe, we share horror stories and realize, hey, this isn't normal. But Karen's got eyes everywhere. Next day, everyone who came to the meeting gets a violation. Mrs. Rodriguez's 15-year-old roses are now excessive decorative plants. Thompson's fence, urgent compliance issue. My wildflowers are suddenly a safety hazard. And then she tows Mrs. Rodriguez's car, a Honda Civic, with a tiny cleaning business decal. The tow company, her nephew, of course. Karen's racket just made $300 on a made-up violation. I see Mrs. Rodriguez crying on her porch holding the impound notice, and I realize we're not fighting for lawns anymore. We're fighting for the soul of our neighborhood. So we start digging deeper. Turns out Karen's nephew got the landscaping contract with no bidding, no conflict of interest review. The HOA bylaws say that's illegal. And then my electrician buddy Jake calls. He's been working at Karen's house, and he's seen a full apartment built into her garage. Kitchen, bathroom, separate entrance, someone's living there, and she claims it's just storage. Unpermitted rental tax evasion, straight up illegal in this neighborhood. Patel, another board member, starts helping. We get the original HOA documents, find a clause. The board president can be removed by petition of 51% of homeowners. We only need 67 signatures. Suddenly this is bigger than harassment. It's fraud, embezzlement. Karen's been double billing, using HOA money for personal legal fees, forging meeting minutes. Jake confirms Karen's illegal apartment has no permits, no inspection, nothing. Her whole rule book is built on lies. That's when Mrs. Henderson, Karen's loyal sidekick, knocks on our door in tears. She's been blackmailed. Karen threatened to have her house condemned unless she spied for her. Turns out Karen's insurance policy is a file full of dirt on everyone gathered illegally. Her power, all smoke and mirrors. Our petition drive explodes. We document everything, organize, secretly keep moving as Karen escalates letters threatening our property values, calling people's mortgage companies, blocking access with bigger trucks. Then, a restraining order. Karen accuses me of harassment and mob intimidation, bans me from organizing. But by now, we've got more than enough signatures and the evidence for criminal charges. Then comes the showdown. My garage still blockaded, surrounded by neighbors, county officials. And yes, a news camera thanks to Sarah Thompson's daughter, who's been digging into HOA corruption stories. The county sheriff rolls up. Ms. Whitfield, you have 30 minutes to remove these vehicles or we'll tow them. Karen starts ranting about emergency powers. I calmly point out no board approval, no authority, criminal obstruction of property. And the crowd's loving it. Sarah filming neighbors cheering Mrs. Rodriguez, clutching the petition with 74 signatures. Patel holding up financial records. Even the county inspectors there, clipboard in hand, to investigate Karen's illegal apartment and unpaid taxes. I walk to the garage door, look Karen in the eye, hit the remote. The door opens, my tools gleaming like treasure. You never actually had the power you thought you did, I say. I'm an electrician, Karen. I fixed your sabotage days ago. The place erupts in laughter, the kind you feel in your bones. Karen melts down, screaming conspiracy, ranting about American values, blaming everyone but herself. But nobody's listening. The sheriff hands her a citation. The county inspector serves her with notices. Trucks are towed. Neighbors hug, cheer, and for the first time in months, the street is quiet. We didn't just kick out a tyrant, we built something better. The emergency board meeting after Karen's collapse. We voted in transparency, competitive bidding, term limits, a community garden in place of her nephew's equipment lot. My garage is now a workshop for the neighborhood. Riley and I teach electrical safety. Thompson's out there showing folks how to fix their own fences. Mrs. Rodriguez's cleaning business now booming because everyone wants to support her. Sarah's article wins a state journalism award. The new family that bought Karen's house turned her illegal rental into an art studio for the neighborhood kids. The wildflowers still out front buzzing with bees, saving water, making everyone smile. And the HOA, we're stronger, more connected, and nobody's afraid to speak up. What did I learn from all this? Real power isn't about titles, rules, or intimidation. It's about people coming together. The second we started talking, documenting, standing up, Karen's fake authority disappeared. Maybe your HOA's not as crazy, but power's always testing boundaries, seeing what folks will tolerate. The best time to push back is always now, even if it feels late. So here's my question for you. How far should someone go to fight abuse of power? Where's the line between protecting your peace and risking it all for what's right? Ever had a neighbor or an HOA try to run your life? Drop your wildest story below or tell me, do you think we did the right thing? Smash that share button if you've ever taken on a Goliath or wanted to. And remember, the only power a bully ever has is the silence you give them.